Hello, today I'm going to introduce the case for Phidias brought to you by Grace Smith. The topics we are going to discuss is his art and context, his works, his controversies, and his style and impact. Ancient Greek art holds a considerably important place in art history. Many of the Greeks' culture values reflect Greek art and sculpture, especially the measure of all things, which remains a fundamental principle in Western civilization. The early and high classical period was critical during ancient Greek civilization because it was during this time that men were viewed as gods and were essentially divine. The portrayal of artworks of humanity and divinity were common combinations. During this time, the allied Hellenic city-states defeated Persia. It is universally considered that the decades following the removal of the Persians led to a high point of Greek civilization. This is the era of many dramaticists, which include philosophers, architects, and sculptors. A pivotal figure during the classical period was a sculptor, painter, and architect named Phidias. Very little is known about Phidias besides his spectacular works during the 5th century. Although no original work can be credited to him, replicas of Roman artworks made throughout history can be attributed to his work. Phidias' most famous works include the Zeus at Olympia and the Athena Parthenon. At Olympia, Zeus was made of ivory and gold and stood about 41 feet tall. Zeus is the god of the sky and thunder who rules the king of gods on Mount Olympus. Although no copy of ivory survived, it has created an everlasting impact on the Greek world. The piece was considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world and was even coined from the Elis district. Another famous work Phidias sculpted was the Athena Parthenos. Athena Parthenos is located in the Athenian Acropolis, standing 38 feet tall. This beautiful sculpture is made of ivory and gold. Athena is armed with a shield and holds Nike in her right hand. Under the statesman Hercules, Phidias was in charge of reconstructing the entire sculptural program of the Acropolis, which was destroyed during the Persian Wars. He oversaw the construction of the placement of arts and sculptures in buildings, most notably the Parthenon. An artist is bound to have controversy with the amount of success and contribution Phidias made. Phidias was accused of embezzling gold for the Athena of Parthenos. He supposedly shortchanged the amount of gold required for a statue and kept the remainder for himself. However, the charge could have been politically motivated because he was excellent friends with Hercules, who maintained more enemies than friends in Athens. To prove Phidias' innocence, he weighed the gold rope of Athena Parthenos on himself. Despite this, he was later charged with impiety for supposedly including a portrait of himself on the Hercules shield. This was blasphemy and considered a mockery of divine objects. He was imprisoned and died in jail. However, it is important to note that these charges are all up for debate for historians. Phidias' work epitomizes the classical style of Greek sculpture. His emphasis on harmony, balance, and idealized forms created a sense of visual perfection and beauty. The idealized forms embody the virtues and ideals of Greek society, and the attention to detail and pursuit of perfection helps elevate his artwork of timeless beauty. Phidias had an unparalleled ability to depict the gods with a sense of divinity and grace, making them seem approachable and powerful. He impacted Roman copies, ancient descriptions, and other pieces inspired by his style. His use of proportion influenced other sculptures of his time and the trajectory of Western art. Phidias' proportions influenced his fellow ancient sculptors and other civilizations to come, notably the Renaissance. Phidias' sculptures and principles greatly influenced Michelangelo's and Donatello's David. The idealized forms and attention to detail are notable in the art and were inspired by Greek classical ideas. Phidias played a foundational role in redefining classical art and sculpture by setting standards that civilizations would emulate for millennia.